Yeah. Okay. I'm Corey.
And this is Woody.
And I'd be Harold. Happy May 24.
From the ISOcast. That is a big-ass pimple. What happened?
Wow. Congratulations.
Thanks, it's a girl.
Isn't there an age that you're supposed to, stop getting pimples?
You'd think, but apparently not.
I feel like they lied to us.
Yes,
when we were teenagers, and it's like, yeah, you're going to get pimples. And then when you get older, you don't. And then that doesn't seem to be the case at all.
No.
I think they do the 5-year rule. Like when you're 15, they tell you, oh, when you're 20, and then when you're 20, when you're 25, when you're 40, 45. When you're 45, right. You'll stop.
It's the, you're only going to be locked down for 2 weeks.
That's right.
It's that story again, except on her face.
2 more weeks.
Then you see your grandma walking by with acne.
I was going to say, I've never seen my dad have a pimple. Have you ever seen your dad with a pimple?
Nope.
I don't see that.
Nope.
I don't see
Can't
my
say
mom
that I
walking
have,
around.
no.
So there's something to this that's like, we get them.
It's the plague.
Is it lifestyle? Could be. You shaved your head too. You got a pimple and you shaved your head.
Yeah, I get $700 haircut.
What? So, but it didn't cost you $700.
No, I donated $700. I was able to donate $700 to the local food bank.
I saw that campaign.
Right
That's
on.
Good for you. You're a better person than both of us, for sure.
I was bored.
Yeah.
And I needed something to do, and my hairdresser was shut down, so it was kind of an easy put together.
You do that yourself?
I had someone in the house here do it for me. I could do most of it,
Okay.
but when you start working around the backside, you want to get it right. So you got to get somebody else with eyes on.
That's what she said.
Well, now I feel like a bad person because I also had someone in the house here. My girlfriend basically shaved my head too, but I didn't donate any money. So I don't know what that means about me.
That does say a lot about you.
Mm-hmm. Just went right on the floor. Swept it away.
I did the same.
There's nobody with cancer who's going to get a Woody wig now. Or
Man, I didn't have the wig that you had, Harry, though. So I don't think it would have. Maybe more like a 50-cent haircut.
50 cent.
Yeah,
Not 50 cent. 50.
I don't think anybody's going to pay to see me get my hair cut, honestly.
Well, that's what I couldn't understand. It was an open challenge to anybody that wanted to get in on it, and I called it To the Wood Challenge, and I thought the guys that would really enjoy it were the guys who already had a shaved head or close to it. And then it's just basically their regular weekly routine. But nobody jumped on it.
Oh, we were supposed to get in on it?
It was a challenge, just like the old ALS ice bucket challenge. It was open to anyone.
I think you need
I
to work on your
boat.
marketing. It's not. It wasn't clear in the advertising.
Well, maybe people don't fucking read
give
anymore.
money to the local.
Just look at pictures.
Oh, that's a given. Yeah, you got to meme that shit.
Because it was, I had it posted in the original post.
You got to GIF it.
Did you use the term? I want to get this right. Were you tilling yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
look. Woody's got a look on his face that he doesn't know what that is.
I'm not even going to pretend I know what that means.
It's the process of turning the soil over with the rotary tiller machine. I have an attachment. I have an attachment that hooks onto my 3-way hitch on the back of my lawn tractor, and it's a 45-inch machine. Fucking digs up the dirt. Am I allowed to swear?
Yo, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just put a little E on the episode, and fuck it, you're good. And you gotta, because you're from Listy.
Yep.
Anyone from Listowel.
I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to express myself without a few F-bombs.
I wouldn't know what to say.
Fucking Tillin.
It's funny because I was just watching a thing yesterday. It was very upsetting to me. I'm not one of those guys on my front porch mad at millennials, but I'm getting a little tired of using ing for everything. I'm adulting. And I saw yesterday someone saying that we're backyarding this weekend. I'm like, it's called gardening. You're gardening, right? Yeah. Harry's tilling. My mom's gardening. My dad's planting. Stop making up words where we already have a word for what you're doing.
That and people using the initials OG for original. That stands for ocean grown, if anybody has any idea what it means.
This is an education here.
Oh my goodness. Originally ocean grown.
Yeah. I
was having a thought recently when we thought, let's bring Harry onto the show because he's awesome. And I finally caved or calved. I'm not sure what the right pronunciation is. I know in Listowel I calved, but
I like calved. That's when you pull your
calving is
your calf. I think.
Calving is more of a physical process as opposed to caving, which is what you do to someone else's will.
Yeah. I like how dark you always are.
So this show brought to you by Harry's Dictionary.
And also brought to you by the darkness inside we all harbor. I caved, I guess, and I watched an episode of Letterkenny, the first episode of Letterkenny, right? Harry and I, way back in the day, interviewed our fellow Listowelite, Jared Kiso, for one of our podcasts, and I didn't at that time I hadn't watched the show, and for years I resisted watching it. Recently,
interesting,
we shared a Crave account with somebody else. So we're those people now that share like a Bell Canada login, right? So we can watch television from time to time. And I watched the first show, and it was really, I don't know the best way to describe it other than it hit home in a lot of ways that I hoped it wouldn't. And it was too real to imagine that this was happening on my television set.
Listowel.
As soon as it crawled into Modine's, I was like, this is it. It's over.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if that was why you, like, I wouldn't call that caving because I think the show's hilarious. I like it a lot, but you know the guy. So is that why you didn't watch it? Because, like, your buddy's in it?
No, I think, and Harry will speak to this maybe, but I personally didn't want to be part of this kind of massive joke of like the town you're from, right? And I used to follow I think it was on Twitter, Listowel Problems, right? I loved that.
Yep.
Where it was Jared, he was just tweeting the problems in Listowel, right? And it was like so on point. And I think that's maybe partly where the show came from. But as I'm watching it, it's this exaggerated form of living in Listowel.
So this is where all the dicks hang out.
Yeah.
There was a guy that used to do that all the time.
Every time you go into the bathrooms, this is where all the dicks hang out. Like it's all of it. And then the scrapping and the fighting.
Yeah.
It's like really? All right, we gotta go scrap now. Yep. And like people so casually just walk outside and fight. Like it's crazy.
Wow. So this show is pretty on the money then.
Yep. I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say they're into what, season 7 or 8 now? I believe.
Yeah.
It's up there.
I don't mind the show. The thing for me is if you're gonna make a TV show, like I appreciate it, like what Corey said and the little tidbits on Twitter and the sound bites and whatnot. But I'm finding that I need some more solid storyline and some character development. Like just throwing out an episode of one-liners constantly, it's kind of hard to stick to, if you ask me.
But isn't that true to form in Listowel? That
I guess
there is no story.
I guess
everyone's a bunch of one-liners, and there is nobody develops. Listowel, generally speaking, beyond that high school peak, right? Yep. Like I find that's for me the case is watching it was just looking deep into my soul.
I guess that's a good question where you guys can answer it. I mean, what do people in Listowel think of it? in general? I mean, if it's about the town, what's the reception like?
Most people, from what I could tell, love it and are big fans of it for what it is. I don't mind it. Like, it's like I said, I have my wants from it, but it's pretty accurate, and I don't think it's very, very different from any other small town Canada town either, though, at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could go into like, North Dakota and probably encounter kind of the same stuff. But
Sure.
I think though in Listowel, it's always a one-upmanship on the phrases and the expressions and stuff. Everyone's got their little quirky things that they love to say. And Atty watched some of it with me, 10 minutes, and she said, "I don't speak this. I don't understand what this is. I don't know what's going on." She's like, "Do you understand this?" And I said, "It's like a baby listening to his mom."
To a degree, like you have your different factions, of course, and then it's also big. I'm sure Woody, if you ever played hockey, you understand the rivalry between different regions and whatnot. That's pretty dominant out here.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty dominant spur of the fighting and whatnot. And I think that comes into hometown pride after that. And then anybody that isn't on the hockey team backs up their own hockey team out of just being local and whatnot.
Right.
Harry, you were kind of a greaser.
Yeah, I guess so. I
was kind of a freak.
Pardon, you were a freak?
Woody was probably a jock.
Yeah.
I'd say you were a prep, Corey. You might not have fit the mainstream prep.
Yeah.
But that was your style.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I was playing golf once, and we were on the tee block, and we were trying to decide who's going to go up first. We're going to toss a tee, so, I looked at the guy, and I said, "Go ahead and give her 9." And he looked back at me, he said, "Like pig?" I said, "Yeah, give her like pig." And then I realized, "You must be from around Listowel." And he's like, "Yeah, Pamerston." I'm like, "Pamerston? You're from Pamerston, not Palmerston, Pamerston."
Actually, I found out did we not go over that before? The Palmerston thing? Did I not explain to you why that is the way it is?
I
would love it if you could again.
Okay.
I'm going to need you to do that because I'm laughing, but I'm just being polite. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Palmerston, as Corey would say, Pamerston, as I would say, is a town just north of us, about 5-10 minutes. And people that aren't from there call it Pamerston because it's the way it's spelt on the sign. But the people from Pamerston call it Pamerston. And the history of it is Lord...
That sounded the same to me, by the way.
Yeah, can you say that again? What's the difference?
Pamerston and Palmerston.
Pamerston?
Yeah, they don't pronounce the L.
Okay.
Which is true because the history of it is there was a Lord Palmer over in England that was on the cabinet or in the House of Commons or whatnot, and they named the town Pamerstown. His nickname was Pamer, but his actual name was Palmerston. Palmers, I believe. But his nickname in court was Pamer. So when they named the town, there was no L in the spelling. It was an apostrophe. And then it's been adapted over the years, and they replaced the apostrophe with an L.
Wow. All right.
So it actually
that's
is
amazing.
Pamerston.
Well, it's maybe not amazing, but that's very.
It's a good
interesting.
story.
It is a good story.
I like.
There was always a rivalry between the high school in Palmerston or Pamerston and Listowel, and we used to commingle, right? So there was always, I dated a girl from Pamerston.
Oh no!
Keck dated a girl from Pamerston, and all the Pamerston people are like, "You're not going out with that guy from Listowel, are you?" And then all the Listowel people are like, "You're not going out with that chick from Pamerston, are you?" And we would just show
she's
up
from Palmerston
at each other's events and stuff, right? So you would go to different things, and you're always a little bit worried if you go to a Pamerston dance, like, are they going to find out you're from Listowel, and how's that going to end, right? Because
usually
it's like
This is going to be a scrap. Like if you go
Usually-
to Wingham, someone's going to get in a scrap.
What are you boys doing?
You can't go to Wingham without getting in a scrap.
This is like the script to Footloose or something. This is what I'm listening to.
Letterkenny
Without the dancing,
Footloose.
maybe.
Yeah. So how is everything going?
It's good.
Like I talked to my folks and stuff, but how's everything going for you?
It's all right. Pretty slow. Nothing too exciting right now. I'm not essential, so I'm collecting my CRB checks and playing with my new telly a lot. Loving that thing all to hell.
Ooh.
Tellies.
Ooh. You got a new
Nice.
telly?
Yes, sir. Got myself
I did see those pictures.
yeah, it's a 2010 American Standard Nashville B-Bender.
Oh. Woody, you just have to believe that that's amazing.
I'm believing it.
It
Oh, man.
Your reaction tells me. That's it.
sounds fucking
That
sweet.
is so cool. Oh, God. I'm a telly guy now. I switched.
Yeah, you got two of
Mary and
them.
I were kind of batting back and forth. Yeah, I got two. I've gone into the, I call it a T style now, right?
Yeah, because one of yours is a
technically,
G&L,
one's
right?
a Telecaster, one's a GNL. Yeah, I was in Asheville, North Carolina, for a couple of days, and I walked into a vintage used music store, specifically looking for a telly, and plucked this 95 off the wall and played it, and said, "I'll take it," because it was just when you grab a thing and it's already yours. Like it's just you've been missing it for so long. It was that. It was that guitar. Yeah, I'd love to do Telly Talk someday. That'd be a good show.
Yeah, the tellies are talking to us. I bought mine used.
Ooh, you did?
Yep.
Oh, well, you said 2010, right?
Yeah. Yep. No, Elmira, another local town here, has started up a vintage guitar show, an auction annually in
What?
March. Elmira.
Oh, wow.
And I saw it last year. At the event, and I didn't have the cash at the time, but I didn't not take note, and I got a hold of some of the event organizers, and they directed me to the man who owned it, and I went and picked it up in February.
That's
Amazing.
Nice. That's. I'm gonna stop using amazing. I noticed that
Okay.
we use a lot of amazing lately.
That's an interesting story.
That's an interesting story. Yeah. My other telly's a lot more boring. I went into a Long and McQuaid looking for a telly, and I ended up with this one. So it wasn't as exciting. What's the deal in Listowel though? Like you get up, you get out, you get around. Is it
Well,
what's it like there now?
I'm not much of a extrovert anymore. I'm more introverted. The older I get, the more introverted I get. So I really don't have much use for town. But I go grocery shopping for the household every other week, and we stand 6 feet apart. They got lines at all the entrances to the liquor store and the grocery store, and direction lines in the aisles, and you can only go one way apparently. And downtown seems a little bit quieter, but apparently Friday on a May 2-4 long weekend, the traffic is still bunged up from one end to the other. So it's not a whole lot different.
I'm guessing there's no liquor delivery. Beer delivery
Not that I know of. No.
there yet.
Yeah, we don't have Uber Eats or the like, but I think if you were to call up Johnny Borton, he would bring you over some booze. I think.
I was gonna say, time was you could call up somebody and they'll go get it for you.
Yeah, there's a couple of guys in town kind of picked up where the delivery services had fallen off, and like we don't, our delivery service, I guess the new Domino's, it has their own delivery car, but most delivery, if you order pizza, it's the taxi service that brings it to you. So I assume they also deliver booze. I've heard of older people who are more immobile and house locked. They do get liquor deliveries and whatnot. So it's there if you need it.
Now, Woody, just to clarify for you, when he says the taxi, he literally means the taxi.
Yeah,
He goes and gets
The
it.
the
taxi.
taxi. The taxi
Okay.
services, yeah.
Yep.
The
We
one.
got two. We got two.
Okay.
Oh, you're
Okay.
kidding?
All right.
Like 2 cars,
No,
same
no,
service,
no.
or 2 services?
No, there's about 15 cars divided between 2 companies.
What? Oh, wow.
Holy moly.
Busy.
That's,
Okay.
That's
Just a lot of
huge.
pizza.
Oh, yeah. Stan loves its pizza.
Yeah, that's true.
How's the general, the mood, the morale of the town? It's,
Well, like
right.
I said, I don't get out much, so I don't really get to see that side
Okay.
of it. But everybody seems relatively okay. Yeah, nobody's running with their coats over their heads in fear at all, or
that's good.
or I haven't heard anybody getting shot yet. So
That's a yeah. Well, are you guys unmasked?
there's I'd say one. I went and got Chinese pickup there last weekend for Mother's Day, and there was 1 out of 9 of us standing outside for our pickup in a mask.
Well, it sounds like everyone's kind of at least getting in line, right?
Yep.
With the safety measures and the precautions and stuff. That's pretty great to hear.
Yep. I use the sleeves of my jacket to open doors and press the buttons on the old debit machine. Outside of that, just kind of keep your distance.
Yeah. That's the one thing that kind of makes me feel a little uneasy. So when there's no tap at the store or something, you got to put your fingers on that machine.
me too.
I think about that every time.
I'll send you a link. I ordered some fingertips
Oh,
that you can get, like they're a rubber glove disposable fingertip that you can use for
Oh.
to ATM.
That's
And
cool.
if that one stupid store who's like, we don't have tap, and it's like, you got to rethink that.
the grocery
Like, now's the time.
the grocery store was
Yeah.
the grocery store was pretty good. I found she wiped down the debit machine every time someone used it after they were done with it. So that was cool.
We put that link in the show notes, Corey. Fingertips.com or something.
Fingertips.com, I think, is probably taken, and it's likely not what you think it is. That's my guess.
It's a nice little surprise for you.
I'm having, I don't know about you guys, but I'm having those down days. Like the last 2 days have been pretty low. Just because I miss visiting family and friends and just being able to, like, it's not like I miss going to the mall. I miss being able to go and see people and do stuff, right? It's getting a little bit weird.
Maybe have a campfire on
Yeah.
Friday night with some drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel it too.
I'm getting there too.
It weighs heavy, doesn't it?
I never thought.
It gets heavy.
It does. We talked about this on other shows. I mean, I'm pretty good on my own. You know, you said me time. I like my me time too, but
Yeah.
it's getting to me now. Whatever week we're in, I lost track. Week 8, 9, 10, 11, who knows? But it just, especially my partner and I just moved into a new place, and you know, it'd be nice to have people over for dinner, show the place off, have your parents over for dinner. You know, so I'm getting to that point too. It's a little bit okay. Let's get going here.
I think Harry's sharpening pencils. He's
Sorry
sharpening
about that.
pencils.
Somebody's sending me a voicemail. That's Airwolf.
Of
My
what?
Tilling right
notification.
now.
I was gonna say, is that what tilling sounds like?
I'm just gonna let that roll. I love it.
My notification is the Airwolf helicopter.
It's there's the
Yeah.
top of your show right there. That's the shredding documents.
It's funny though, because like you start losing track of time, right? You don't really know what's going on. And Woody and I were talking earlier in the preamble that we wouldn't know it's Victoria Day weekend if it weren't for, in my case, I now realized I'm probably not going to get mail Monday. Like, that's the only thing that makes this different, you know, is that stuff's not open.
Yeah,
Nothing's open anyway.
I'd be in the Muskokas fishing if it was a regular May 2-4.
Yeah, this is traditionally the weekend everyone
I'd be
goes
gone.
and acts like it's summer, but freezes their nuts off because it's not even close to summer. And yeah. Where would you be, Woody, right now?
Snowing and whatever else it's doing. Yeah. Well, let's pretend to celebrate something. Yeah, we'd be at the cottage. Yeah. My parents. I mean, no one's going, and that's a bit weird or a weird feeling because I can't remember at least one of us not being. You know, the whole family saying we're not going. That's
Mhm.
Yeah, it
weird.
is.
It's a weird
It
feeling.
is. Yeah. Me and the boys, we've been kind of jumping around the last 5 or 6 years. I used to host it myself up at Point Clark, and then my sister sold the lakefront property, so didn't have a place personally to party for the May 2-4. And the last 5 years or so, my buddy Bubba and I, he's from the Hamilton region. We were just kind of hopping around different cabins and resorts we could rent. And yeah, that's what we'll be doing this weekend, getting ourselves one of those nice pontoon boats so the 5 of us can go out and sit there and troll all day.
That's a great weekend.
Well, that's a nice weekend.
Well, I'm going to close my eyes and just fantasize about what that would be like. Because I don't know how, like, I think this is the long haul. Right, I think we're all getting to the place where we go, all right, this is kind of the way it's going to be for a long time. I don't really know how to deal with that yet. Like, I don't fully know. I don't think anybody does.
No.
It's like what he said earlier, it's 2 weeks and another 2 weeks and another 2 weeks. There's no deadline. There's no end of the road. It's just hurry up and wait. You sit on your ass for 2 weeks and wait for that to be up. And then when that's up, you get another 2 weeks notice and you do it all over again. I don't know what to believe anymore. You got so many naysayers all freaking trying to organize protests to have people go out and do things. And like, is that really smart? Like, it's not obvious. I don't think it is. I know what you mean. What do you do?
Yeah.
You got to delve into your hobbies is what I've been doing.
Easy to understand the sentiment of wanting to get back out there, but obviously just knowing what this is, I think that's what is, bringing me down a little bit. It's just, this is what you said, Corey. This is not just a 2 week. It might improve slightly as we go through, but for the rest of the year, probably this is kind of be what it is. And it's more for me, just the social, having people over for dinner. I think that's, a little barbecue in the backyard, a little cottage trip. I don't care about the malls. I don't care about going to restaurants, generally speaking, but just having people over, being outside, that's what I miss.
A lot of protesters, I'm imagining too, this is their way that they can regain a sense of control, right? That's kind of the thing. Is it's maybe not just, hey, 5G did this, but it's more like, hey, I need to have some semblance of kind of power over this situation, and that's one way to do it, and maybe physically feel like you have some sense of control over the situation.
I agree with that.
I think every therapist would say, what can you control? What can you do? And that's something that if you collectively agree, we can all do that, dumb or not. It is something you can do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been delving into my hobbies as best I can. Like I said, really got the chores around the house, like tilling the gardens and whatnot. But outside of that, the old bow and arrow have come out a few times, and
nice.
And the motorcycle is always a nice option on a nice Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon too, if it's decent weather. That seems to work really well for therapy, if you ask me. Not everybody has that choice. I
think the weather improving helps too, because you can delve into those little outdoor activities. You can get the bike out, go for a ride, go for a run if you want to, do some gardening. If this was reversed, I think if this started in, let's say, August or September, and then you're going into the winter, I don't know. I think that would be, so now I think the summer will be okay. We'll have some options at least.
And now that they're lifting some of the restrictions too, I think it's nice. Like the fire ban's been lifted. And so that's definitely a plus, as well as more of the non-essential work is coming back, so people know that they can make money at the same time instead of, because I think that's another factor that falls into it. While we're sitting around, it's not like we can just go out and spend copious amounts of money, because we don't know. Some of us don't know when we're going to have more money coming in.
Yep,
that's right. I hope I don't lose all track of time though, because to wrap it up with May 2-4, last night there were big bangs outside my house. Right. And I was like, what the fuck's that? Yeah. And Maya said, fireworks, dude. Fireworks. It's May 2-4. I was like, oh, Right. Right. Okay. Sure. No idea.
Well, I guess happy May 2-4, everybody.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm Corey
And this is Woody.
And I'd be Harold. Happy May 2-4.
from the ISOcast.